Welcome yogis to Move on Demand. What we've got in store today is a little bit of HIIT inspired, so designed to get you sweating and moving and follow that kind of rhythm and peak. So a few rests in between, but definitely to get the body moving, the heart pumping, and get that breath activated as well. All you will need is a mat and a block if you have one. Let's get started in downward facing dog. So arrive on your mat, spread your fingers wide, and then press the palms into the mat as you arrive in your down dog. Generous bend of the knees. If this is the first down dog of your day, and then just gently press the chest back towards the thighs as you tilt the sit bones right up to the sky. And lift the upper arms to the ceiling as you strengthen through the arms, through the hands, and then just take a little pedal through the feet as you arrive. And find a little bit of movement here into the sideways, the legs, and soften through the shoulders. And then finding some stillness in your down dog. And find your Ujjayi breath here. So in through the nose. Long breath out the back of the throat. And take another full breath in. Empty out completely. The next breath in, reach the right leg to the sky from the inner seam of the leg. Bend the knee, yawn the hip open. And take a full cycle of breath here. As you exhale, shift the weight forward, bring the right knee to the nose, hug in, dome through the upper back, and then step the right foot forward. Find your low lunge here. And come up onto the fingertips, open up the chest, look forward, and then pull the hips back and straighten over that right thigh. Let's do that 2 more times. Big breath in, lift the chest and open. Exhale, straighten and fold. One more, full breath in. And then straighten and fold. And just hold it here and draw that right hip back. Lengthen through the left leg as you square off through the hips. And take another full breath in. And as you exhale, bend into the right knee. Let's find an easy twist here. So left fingertips down, right hand to the sky. And find that line of energy from left fingertips through to right. Expand into it. And take another full breath in. The right hand back down to the mat, downward facing dog. So down dog is your home base. So readjust the hands, the feet, and find your breath. And left leg to the sky, lift and lengthen, bend the knee, yawn the hip open. And then come forward, right up onto your right tippy toes, knee to nose, press, step forward. Again, find your low lunge. Fingertips to the earth. Look forward. Shine the collarbones forward. And then just gently pull the hips back and straighten over the left leg. So feel into the left hamstring. Let's do that 2 more times. Big breath in, come forward. Exhale, straighten and fold over left. Last one, roll the shoulders back and down. And straighten and fold and just hold here. And breathe into the left hamstring. Draw the left hip back. Crown of the head towards the shin. And start to bend into the left knee. Right fingertips to the earth. Left hand to the sky. Find your easy twist here. And breathe into the belly. Expand through the left hand. Take a full breath in. Left hand down, step forward, find a ragdoll, top of the mat. Two fists in between your big toes, and then grab hold of opposite elbow and little roll through the shoulders. And take a quick check at the feet as you lift up the toes and ground down through the four corners of the feet. Find your breath here. And take one more breath. As you exhale, release the hands to the earth and press the feet and heels into the earth as you come up to standing. Unravel the spine, little roll through the shoulders, reach the arms to the sky, gather that energy up. And then fold forward, waterfall as you bow. And take a halfway lift and lengthen, flat back here. And step back, high plank, and hold. So set up your high plank. So shoulders over wrists, press the floor away. Little dome through the upper back as you shine the collarbones towards the front of the room. And power up the legs. So spin the inner thighs to the back of the room. And heels press towards the back. And then hips in line with the shoulders and the heels. Let's shift the weight forward, bend the elbows, lower halfway, chaturanga. Flip the toes, up dog. And downward facing dog, ground down. And take a full cycle of breath here. Long breath out. Come right up onto the tippy toes, bend the knees, step lightly, top of the mat, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, bow forward. Weight into the heels as you sweep the arms to the sky, full breath in, and then release back down to the earth. Halfway lift and lengthen. High to low plank, so resisting as you come down through your chaturanga. Up dog and pause here. Maybe double chaturanga. And downward facing dog. The next breath in, come right up onto the tippy toes, bend the knees, lightly step it forward, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, bow. Sweep to the sky, full breath in, and back down to the earth. Halfway lift here. High to low plank, resisting as you lower. Upward facing dog, your back bend. Downward facing dog, ground down. We've got two more sun A's. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Top of the mat, halfway lift. And bow. Sweep the arms to the sky. And back down to the earth. Halfway lift and lengthen. High to low plank. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Lift the heels, bend the knees, light as a feather, top of the mat, halfway lift. And bow, Uttanasana. Reach the arms to the sky. Back down to the earth, Uttanasana. Adha Uttanasana. Chaturanga Dandasana, bend the elbows. Urdhva Mukha. Adho Mukha, down dog, ground down. 3 cycles of breath here. And feel the heat. Feel the breath. The next breath in, come right up onto the tippy toes, bend the knees, make your way. Uttanasana, chair pose. Utkatasana, chair pose. Power up through the legs. Ground down through the feet. And lift the toes off the earth as you press the 4 corners of your feet into the earth. Lift the chest a little higher. And start to transfer the weight onto the balls of the feet as you reach the arms behind, thumbs to the sky. Can you sink a little lower here? And take a full breath in. Optional crow pose. Just take a couple of breaths here through your crow. Lift up and lengthen. And back high to low plank. So find your vinyasa. Up dog. And downward facing dog. Ground down. Right leg to the sky. Knee to nose, squeeze it in, tap. Inhale, back to the sky. Right leg, right tricep. Inhale, back to the sky. Right knee, left tricep. Inhale, back to the sky. Knee to nose, step forward. Arrowhead in. So charge up the arms here. Press the floor away. Strengthen through the back leg. And press the four corners of the right foot into the earth. Can you lift up the chest and lengthen? And take another breath in. As you exhale, hook thumbs overhead. Biceps by your ears. Press the floor away. Lift up into crescent lunge. And then find your alignment here. Square off through the hips. Reach the arms to the sky. A little bend in that back knee. And take a full breath in here. Make a fist with the hands. You exhale, you're going to lower and hover. Pull the chest back. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, reach up and lengthen. Exhale, lower, hold it here. Press into the earth to rise up. Hands circle to the earth. Right leg sweeps back, down dog split. Shift the weight forward, high plank. Keep that right leg lifted and straight. Bend the elbows, lower halfway. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Ground down. Left leg to the sky. Knee to nose, press, hold, charge up that back leg. Inhale, back to the sky. To left tricep, tap and hold. Inhale, back to the sky. To right tricep, hold it here. Last one, back to the sky. Knee to nose, step. Widen your stance, arrowhead in. So press the floor away, spark up through the thumbs. Feel that line of energy from back heel through to crown of the head. Smooth out the breath and take another breath in. As you exhale, hook thumbs overhead, pull them apart, charge up through the hands. Feel that line of energy from back heel through to fingertip. In crescent lunge, reach up and lengthen here. And soften. Square off through the hips. And make a fist with a hand as you lower halfway down, hover. Inhale, you're resisting as you come up. And then back down again. Inhale, press it back up. Exhale, lower and hover. This time, reach up, crescent lunge. Circle the hands to the mat. Sweep the left leg back, down dog split. Shift the weight forward. Spirit dives here. Bend the elbows. Up dog. Downward facing dog. And take a full breath in. A long breath out. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, step top of the mat. Utkatasana, sink the hips, charge up with the hands. Transfer the weight onto the balls of the feet. Thumbs to the back of the room. Optional bakasana here, crow pose. And then high to low plank. Find your flow. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Ground down. All right, so we're going to flow that one breath per movement. I'm going to do it 2 rounds on each side. Right leg to the sky, lift up and lengthen. Knee to nose, press the floor away. Reach the right leg back. Can you tap right tricep? Inhale, back to the sky. Twist it through left. And back to the sky. Knee to nose, step it forward. Arrowhead in, reach the arms back. Extended arrowhead, charge up through the fingertips. And crescent lunge, reach the arms to the sky. And make a fist and hover 1 centimeter. Inhale, back to the sky. Exhale, hover and hold. Last one, back to the sky. Hover, hold here. Crescent lunge in. Circle the hands to the mat. Right leg lifts to the sky. Come forward, high plank. Keep that right leg charged up. Lower chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Left side now reaches to the sky. Knee to nose. Inhale, reach the left leg back to left tricep. Inhale, back to the sky to right tricep. Last one, back. Knee to nose, step it forward. Arrowhead in. Extended arrowhead, use your core. Crescent lunge. Make a fist and hover. Inhale. Back to crescent lunge. Last round, make a fist, hover. Reach back to the sky. Circle the hands to the mat. Down dog split. Come forward. Chaturanga, elbows bend. Up dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Ground down. One more full cycle of breath. Long exhale out. Bring the big toes to touch. Shift the weight forward. Left hand down, right hand to the sky. Vashisthasana. Side plank. And press the floor away. So spread the fingers wide. Press the palm into the mat. Reach the right arm up. And flex the toes back towards your face as you lift up that right leg. Hug into the midline and start to bend into the right knee. As you start to shift the weight, transfer it forward, knee to chest as you step forward. Widen your stance, crescent lunge in. And find your twist here. So left arm forward, right arm behind. Square off through the hips. Keep pressing the floor away with that right foot. An option to take exalted crescent lunge here. So right arm reaches for the left thigh. And lean back into it. Smooth out the breath. 5 more breaths here. One more breath in, come back through crescent lunge. And hands come towards the heart. As you shift the weight forward, find your revolved half moon. So left fingertips on a block or the floor. Charge up that left leg, point through the toe. The right hand comes onto sacrum. And lean the chest towards the front of the room. And then start to spin that right shoulder open. For 3. Keep pressing with the right foot into the earth. For 2. Can you lift and lengthen a little more? But stay with me here. Start to bend into the left knee. Bring the hands to heart center. Find your balance here. Option 1, right hand onto the knee, left arm behind. Option 2, right hand grabs hold of the outer blade of the left foot. Find your Shiva twist. Expand. 3, 2, 1. Come back through center. Bend the knee, hug it into your chest. Hands at heart center. Step Samasthiti. Hands at the heart. Soften the eye gaze to the fingertips. Feel the sweat. Feel the power. Feel the strength. Utkatasana chair pose. Sink the hips, charge up through the hands. Left knee into your chest. Eagle wrap, Garudasana. Left arm under. And square it all up to the front of the room. And sink eagle eyes. Five. Sink the hips a little more. 3. And 2. And keep the wrap of the arms as you unravel. Hug the knee into the chest. Reach the left leg back behind. Warrior 3 variation. Lift up the left leg to meet the chest. 3, 2. Start to bend into the right knee. Step the left leg back. Keep the bind of the arms. Find your exalted crescent here. And then use the breath to lean back into it. Generous bend in that back knee. And take another breath in here. Hands release, come through heart center. Drop the left heel, warrior 2. And settle into your warrior. So eye gaze at your index finger. And ground down through the feet. Squeeze them back towards each other as you soften through the shoulders. Steady and focused. And reach forward to the front of the room. Right elbow onto thigh. Left arm windmills up and over. And find your extended side angle. Find that line of energy from back heel through to fingertip. And ground down through the feet as you spin the chest towards the sky. Take 3 more breaths here. One more cycle of breath. And start to straighten through the right leg. Find your triangle pose, Trikonasana. And pull the hips back and let that left hip drop to the earth. Lift the chest towards the sky a little more. 3, 2. Bring the left hand onto the hip. Turn the right toes to meet the left. Hands onto the hips. Heels out, toes in. Draw the lower belly in. Zip up. As you bow forward, fingertips underneath the shoulders. Find your exhale here as you ground down. Let go of anything that's not serving you on this mat in your practice. And find a halfway lift and lengthen here. Hands onto the hips and turn to the front of the mat. Let's take a vinyasa to flush that out. High to low plank. Up dog. Downward facing dog. And And bring the big toes to touch. Shift the weight forward. Vashisthasana, right hand down, left hand to the sky. Swing to the outer blade of the feet. And charge up through the legs, through the arms. Bring your eye gaze to the sky. Lift up that left leg. 3, 2. Start to bend into the knee and step it forward. Use your core here. And crescent lunge in. Let's find your twist here. Right hand forward, left hand behind. And then exalt it as left arm wraps around right thigh. Get stable and grounded. Five more breaths here. And come back through center and shift the weight. Transfer it onto the left foot. Right fingertips to the floor or a block. Left hand to your sacrum. And press into the heel as you lean the chest forward. Charge up through that right leg. And then start to find your twist as you lean the left shoulder back. 3 more breaths here. Start to bend into the right knee. Hands come to heart center. Balance here. Press the ground away. Lift up the chest and lengthen. And then find your twist. Outer blade of the right foot. Lean back into it. Test your balance. Test your strength. As you come back through center, bend the knee into the chest, hands at heart center, and step top of the mat. Eye gaze down to the fingertips. Smooth out the breath. Let's finish it off. Utkatasana, charge up through the hands. Left knee into your chest. Garudasana, left arm under. Let's finish that off. Utkatasana, charge up through the hands. Right knee into the chest. Wrap of the leg, right arm under. Garudasana, square off through the hips. 5 breaths here. As you unravel, bring the knee to the chest and then reach it back. Find your warrior 3 variation. Press with the left heel into the earth. Lean into it. 5. 4. 2. Start to bend into the left knee. Step the right leg back. Exalt your warrior here. And square off through the hips. Reach the arms to the sky. Lean back. Find your back bend. Bring the chest forward, hands through heart center. Drop the right heel. Warrior 2. Drishti, focus. Foundation, legs strong. Soften the shoulders, soften your eye gaze. Extended side angle, right elbow onto thigh, left left elbow onto thigh, right arm windmills up and over. Five cycles of breath. And start to straighten through the left leg, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Expand. As you bring your right hand onto your hip, turn the left toes to meet the right. And take a full breath in here. And clasp hands behind your back. Draw the knuckles down as you bow forward. And keep the palms of the hands towards each other as you find your forward fold. Release the hands to the mat. Take a halfway lift and lengthen. And turn to face the front of the mat. Step back high plank and hold it here. And get connected with your plank here as you shift the weight forward. For the count of 5, we're going to bend the elbows lower. 5, 4. Hug in, hold it here. 3, 2. Stay in your low plank. One more breath. And then release to the earth. Look to the right. Hands down by your sides. Bring your forehead to the earth. Squeeze the legs towards each other. Clasp hands behind your back. Draw the knuckles down and lift up the legs. Lift up the chest. Find your back bend. 5 breaths. And then release back down. Look to the left. So Shalavasana or full bow pose here. Bend into the knees. Grab hold of the tops of the feet as you kick the feet into the hands. And lean back into it. Draw the knees back towards each other. And kick and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, one more breath in. Gently release. And bring the fingertips by your ribs as you press back. Bring the knees together, child's pose, Japanese style. Bring the hands down by your sides. Downward facing dog. Next inhale, lift the heels, come right up onto the tippy toes, bend the knees. You're going to jump through and cross the ankles, lay down onto your back. Feet, soles of the feet onto the earth. Bridge pose. Press into the feet as you lift the hips up. And shuffle shoulders underneath as you clasp the hands. Press the earth away as you lift the hips to the sky. 5 rounds of breath here. slowly unravel all the way back down to the earth for one breath in. You got one more back bend, bridge or wheel. Lift the hips and lengthen. Expand the chest towards the sky. Maybe come up onto the tippy toes. And breathe 5 breaths. And one more breath in. And gently lower all the way back down. Bring the soles of the feet towards each other. Left hand on your heart, right hand on your belly. Supta Baddha Konasana. Feel the beat of your heart. Feel the sweat, feel the heat, feel the breath. And bring the knees in towards the chest, squeeze it in. And then reach the legs towards the sky. Bring your fingertips by your temples and your ears. And point through the toes as you charge up through the legs and lengthen the right leg to the front of the room. Keep the left leg long and hover here. Keep drawing the lower belly to the earth. The right leg reaches up, you crunch in. Left leg long to the front of the room. Left leg meets right to the sky, crunch in. Right leg long. Let's go for 10. 9. 8. 7. Strong and steady. Keep drawing the lower belly back to the earth. 5. Point with the toes. Inner seam of the legs. 4. 3. 2. 1. Reach everything up and draw the knees back into your chest. Squeeze it all in. Little rock from side to side. One last round of core as you bring the knees over the hips. Point through the toes, shins parallel, fingertips by your ears. Reach and point right leg to the front of the room. And then lift the chest, cross right elbow over the left thigh. Inhale, come back to center. Left elbow crosses to right knee. Inhale, bring you back. Right. And then let's charge it up double time here. So pointing with the big toe. Keep drawing the lower belly in as you do your bicycle crunches. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze everything in and then hug everything in as you rock and roll up and down the length of your spine. And as you arrive, cross the ankles, plant the hands, step back, plank. Optional vinyasa here. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Ground down. Right leg to the sky. Lift up and lengthen. Bend the knee, yawn the hip open. Right knee, right wrist. Half pigeon. And come up onto the fingertips as you lengthen the left leg back behind you. Take a full breath in, lengthen through the spine. As you come forward onto the elbows, maybe a block underneath the forehead. Powerful practice. You've done all the work to get you to this point on the mat. So stay super focused and present. Use the breath. Notice if your attention drifts, just bring it back. 3 more rounds of breath. As you come up, plant the hands. Tuck the toe, downward facing dog. And pedal it out and observe. And left leg to the sky and bend the knee, yawn the hip open. And left knee behind left wrist. And adjust the hips, square them off. And lengthen that right leg behind as you lift up the chest. And then come down onto the elbows. And then use them as leverage to gently pull that left hip back. And then soften here. And feel the energy start to shift. It's the practice, it's the work. It's not some magic pill that you just take and become enlightened. It means getting on the mat day after day and doing the work. 3 more breaths. And come up onto the fingertips and sit the weight on to the left hip as you sweep both legs out in front of you. And sit right up onto the sit bone as you reach the arms to the sky. Gather that energy up and a generous bend in the knees as you bow forward. Find your forward fold. And then use the breath to deepen into this pose. As you breathe in, lift the chest and lengthen a little more. As you breathe out, bow forward. Lift up the chest, reach the arms to the front of the room, sit up nice and high, and for the count of 5, you're going to slowly articulate the spine down to the earth. So draw the lower belly in, spark up through the hands, 3, lift the chest, open up through the collarbones, 2. As you arrive down onto the mat, bring the knees into the chest. Let's find an easy twist as left leg goes long, right knee hugs in, squeeze it into your hip flexor. And then use the left hand to draw the right knee over. Right arm expands. Find length through the spine as you soften your eye gaze to the right hand and find your twist. Stay connected with the breath. Let's come back through center, swap that over, left knee hugs in, and squeeze them both in. Right leg long, and point through the toes as you draw the left knee to the right and expand into the left. Lung, thoracic spine, shoulder. And come back through center. Let's finish off with a final happy baby. Bring the arms to the inside of the knees, bend them and grab hold of the outer edges of the feet. And then spread the shoulders across the mat and the tailbone down as you little sway from side to side. Feel the energy that has shifted. So new pathways, new possibilities. Let go of the old and make space for something new. Bring the knees back towards the center. Wrap the arms around the knees. Hug the forehead in towards the knees as you give yourself a squeeze into the midline. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, find your Savasana. Feel the backs of the heels onto the earth, palms towards the sky. And find length through the spine as you let your practice integrate.